welcome to the Junto Podcast, episode 115, and excited to be with you here at the Junto Podcast. That's right, the Together podcast. And hey, we're diving back in, we're digging back in. Not sure if we talked about this, but the podcast kind of led to some other marketing things that I've moved into doing this type of stuff for a living with a job now, and so we're excited. We didn't release there for, I guess it's been about 3 or 4 weeks just with everything going on, but excited to be diving back in, and we're going to be releasing hopefully for the next 2 or 3, 4 weeks, get some stuff out there, some things that we want to discuss. And Heather, we're using this new format where we find the clips, and it just gives us, we've always used references and material to kind of jumpstart the conversation, but we've kind of been using these clips. And so what's in store for us today?
I am going into these blind, so I'm not really sure. And
didn't you send me one?
Oh, I did. I didn't know if we were doing that one today.
I uploaded it.
Okay.
So.
Well, one, I'm not going in blind.
Okay, me too.
The other one I am. I like that, though, because you kind of you don't have time to come up with a better response. It's like it's an on-the-fly, like your natural, what is your initial response? And I like that.
Well, yeah, we believe that authenticity is key with anything we do. That's relationships. And if you've never tuned in, we talk about a lot of things, leadership, family, marriage, children, all of the things. And it always comes back to a perspective of faith. And with all of those things, we believe that life is better when we do it together. But honestly, authenticity is key to all of those things, whether you're in work, relationships, colleagues and coworkers and things of that nature, ministry that we are in. It's all about being authentic and being, I don't know, there's just freedom in that, I feel like.
There is. And I think some people think authenticity is spilling all your beans, spilling all your information, all the
tea.
All the things that irk you or the things that you're working on, right? Like hidden sin that everyone
right.
Right.
You got to know because we're authentic.
Right. That's when we say authentic and being real, it's saying, okay, we are broken. We need each other. Better together. That's our thing.
That's
is
it,
better
man.
together,
Juntos.
right?
That's
and so I think that is the authenticity. Yeah, you're not spilling everything to the whole world, but you have those friends who you do rely on for guidance and wisdom and trust. There's a trust there. So I think there's a difference I think some people think, well, that's not authentic because you're not being open about it. You're not an open book. You're not telling everything, right? Some people do that, and it's just like way too much.
Right.
That's way too much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is sharing just to share, and then there's sharing for a reason. And the reality of it is listen, I am old enough to know that everybody got some baggage. I don't care who you are. You can, present yourself any way you want, and maybe your thing is to make others think that your life is flawless and you have no problem.
Baggage.
But with us, we already know the human experience is one that is full of challenges and trauma and drama and tea and things. And so when we say authentic, we're just acknowledging that this life experience, this human experience, we know it comes with a bunch of stuff, and we're just here to talk about that. And that's what we do here at the Junto Podcast. Amen?
I'm going to tell off on ourselves
Please,
before we get started.
Let's do that.
It's like that old for Jerry Springer, not Jerry Springer, not that show, but the baggage.
Which he was the host.
Which he was the host, and everybody come, like, the contestants, there's 3 of them each time, and they're trying to win a date with this girl.
It's a dating show, by the way.
Yeah. And they have a large, they start with a small suitcase.
That's right.
And then a medium, and then a large. And so that determines their
Can you
level of
handle
their
their
baggage. Right. I don't know.
Well, and what's weird is that sometimes we'll watch late night TV, and if you watch the Game Show Network, that happens to be on. They're still showing. Oh my gosh!
Why are we so old that
we're so
that
weird
stuff?
that we watch?
Yeah,
Jerry.
It's old reality.
It's wild.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. So with that, we can jump in. Really excited just to be back doing some episodes, and hopefully these are an encouragement to you more than anything. That's what we want to be. We want to be an encouragement to you. Maybe you're walking through something in leadership, and this might be the thing that kind of gives you some insight. And so no matter what we do, no matter what we talk about, we hope it's an encouragement. We always want to bring it back to that perspective of faith. And so with that, I will lead in to a clip I'll play mine first. Now we're both going in blind with one. And actually, you may have seen this one, so I don't think you're going in blind with any of them.
Man.
You may have heard me play it in the background. I don't think you really watched.
Probably
it, though.
wasn't listening.
Yeah, exactly. But this is from Jocko Willink. Now, if you've listened to the podcast, you know we did a pretty good series on Jocko's stuff. And Extreme Ownership was the book that we spent about 2 or 3 episodes on. And so this kind of goes along with some of that. I thought it was a little bit more impactful, though, to see the actual clip from him. And so with that, let's dive in and let's get this conversation going.
Things that you will find a challenge that you're going to have to deal with is dealing with egos. You're going to meet these people. They got these giant egos. And the toughest ego that you're going to have to deal with is, it's yours. So give you some verbiage to put around the action that you need to take to overcome these ego issues is right up here on the board. Subordinate your ego. Put your ego underneath the other person's ego. If you can learn to do this, 99% of the ego problems that you face with other people are going to go away. When you run into someone with a big ego and it's bothering you, that's just your ego that's calling out. That means you can't subordinate your ego.
Wow.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Interesting stuff. Do you have a thought right out the gate, or would you?
I do, unless you want to go
Nope,
in.
let's hear from you.
Mine, it's simple. It's just my initial. And I do. I've been in those moments where someone is loud and they seem egotistical, and I immediately, I'm like, okay, look at this big ego dude or lady.
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
It's the ladies as well. And I don't mesh well initially with that. I say initially because I have learned some things that sometimes people start out a certain way, or they seemingly are a certain way, and then you get to know them, and it's like, okay, now I can see why they were that way. But interesting that he said that it's your ego.
There you go. That's right.
That stung me a little bit because felt like maybe I was acting or behaving better than that person.
Right.
And maybe my heart was totally in the wrong place.
Well, and that's kind of what I was going to say, too, is that specifically as it pertains to leadership or maybe in ministry, if you're kind of higher up in those things, we tend to we want to be the top dog in the room. Maybe that's just a male thing, for lack of a better term, but we want to be the top dog. And so it is very hard. Let me give you an example of a real life situation. I hope this resonates with you guys. So many of you know that I've been employed at the college for a long time. My previous job I was director of a grant program there. So it was as far as the people at the actual college, it stopped with me there. Now, obviously, my boss was in Little Rock and so on and so forth up the chain.
But you're saying on site.
But on site, I was the top dog. Well, things happen and opportunities came up and
it came knocking.
Right. And so an opportunity that I thought was worth taking because it's doing something that I do anyway. And so long story short, I was put into a situation where I'm still on a level, but in this particular department and in this particular role, I am not the top dog. And so there's not necessarily tension. Now, keep in mind, I knew that going into this, there was going to be a change, and I was prepared, and I was fully ready to do that. And so I say that to say, listen, when he talks about egos and things of that nature, we have to understand that, we don't know it all, and we may not be the best at every single thing we do, right? So I honestly, while I was apprehensive about moving into that thing, it's been such a great thing to learn from somebody who is actually a bit more experienced and has real life experience doing this kind of thing. So it's actually been a great, and listen, the benefit of this, guys, is that now my tools, the things that I'm learning, it's making me better at the things I love to do, right?
Wow, right. So that's a great, what am I saying? Like you realization.
Example?
Well, I was the realization to you that
Right.
even though I may not like how this feels in this moment,
In this moment, right.
I realize that I am learning and I'm growing, and it's better for me
It's
that I'm
better.
here and I'm benefiting more from it. But I know in the moment you probably feel, or you've felt like, okay, did I make the right decision?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
questioning.
You know,
Right.
I think that's natural. Anytime you step into a new role, there's going to be some apprehension. And I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you it's one word, and it was the one word behind all of these things. And that little word is called fear.
Mm-hmm.
When we are stepping into something, we tend to get a little bit fearful of the things we don't know. Am I good enough? What's this going to be like? Is it going to mesh well? I'm so comfortable with what I'm already doing. Is this the right thing to do? And so I think that's natural. I think first and foremost, if you're in a challenging position right now where you got to make a decision, first of all, look at everything and think about what you're stepping into from a long-term perspective. For me, I knew that stepping into this role, even though it's a change, long term for me, this is the absolute best thing that I could have done. Now, in the now, is it different? Are there challenges? Of course, but in assessing this, I knew for me. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're stepping into something, or maybe you're in a challenge right now or a move, consider the long-term ramifications. And if you have to suffer a little bit in the right now to achieve the end goal that you know you're looking for, it's worth it.
Definitely. And just going back to his clip with when I hear the word ego, I'm just going to be honest right here. You ready for it?
Talk to me.
In my mind, I'm like, that's not me. I don't
Right. I don't have an ego.
So me thinking that
proves.
Right. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What is this? What do I do with this? Because I don't outright, I don't think, portray the person that I see as having a big ego, right? Like someone who's loud, someone who's pushy, someone who's like, no, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're saying. I'm going to talk over you because you're smaller than me, right? Belittling people. But perhaps my heart and my motivations are where my ego lies, and it's not so much in my reactions to people in the moment, but maybe it's the way that I feel about them.
Right.
And how I categorize them and put them in a box. And
absolutely
don't give them another chance, right? I'm like, no, well, that's just how that person is. So I'm going to just go this way.
Right.
But you can't do that in real life. You can't just write people off because
that's right.
you don't like them. Their personality may not mesh with yours.
Yeah.
So I need that reminder to check my heart ego. I think that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to call it.
Wow.
Check my heart ego.
There you go. Well, I know. And you know what's funny? I think to bring it back home, or to relate his clip to the book that we read, in that chapter when he is talking about ego, keep in mind what he does is he goes into these companies. Jocko was a Navy SEAL, and so he brings all of these leadership tools.
Like a consultant, right?
Yeah, exactly. To companies who are struggling with leadership, and they're like, how do we do this? And what's crazy is, as he's talking to all the big wigs, and they're the ones who are the most reluctant to realize that they have a problem. And so I say that
it's our employees. They need help.
It's them. It's not me. I'm the leader. What do you mean? I'm such a great leader.
Right. It's them.
So we have to understand that we all have a capacity to have an ego and think we're right.
Yeah.
And so I say that to say, listen, man, just release it. What do we gain, I guess, from having such an ego? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
What are we trying to prove in the end?
That's it. That's the thing right there. What are you trying to prove? Are you wanting things to work out on your job? Are you wanting to get along with people?
Right.
Or are you wanting to prove something and have to continually prove and prove again and prove again? Or do you want to okay, we're all a team here.
Right.
I may be a little higher up than you, but we all play our part. And I want to make sure that I'm contributing and not just, that's not my job. You're
I know.
lower than me.
I know.
Make sure you get that done and you do it right. do it like I said.
Right. So this is your ego check right here. You know, if Jocko can admit that he has an ego, he's a Navy SEAL. Come on, you know, when you think about SEALs, you talk about the baddest of the bad. And so to hear somebody like that say that the biggest ego that we have to put in check 9 times out of 10 is our own is a great reminder. So in leadership, apply this. If you're struggling, if things are not going well right now, ask yourself, is the way I'm leading hurting or helping? Like, can I put my ego in check? And I've done this, you know, in real time, in real life, just in the past. And it's not that I thought I knew, but it's just adjusting. And I'm going to use a word, but submitting, right? Being able to submit. And not to take everything personal. Like if there's a critique or if someone above you asks you to do something, it doesn't mean that there's a personal problem. It just means, come on, we need to do what we need to do to change it, to get it right, to meet the goal. And so. Definitely.
And if you're like me and you think you didn't have an ego issue.
Check your heart. Because it's probably your heart.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I gotta go do some soul searching. I gotta do something.
It's exact. I'm glad to hear you. You know, in a recording, say you have an ego, because I can go back. I got this. I got
when
this.
Somebody compliments you or something like, "Oh, you're making his head there. Your ego, big old head." Excuse me, big old head. Mine, I guess, would be my heart.
Right.
You know,
Your heart.
My heart's
exactly.
expanding like my ego and my heart.
That's it. See, we both got it.
Yeah, we both got it.
All right,
good deal. Degrees.
Any other thoughts on the ego before we move on to
No, I think we covered that.
All right, good deal. Good. So, do you want to set this clip up or what? Because I have no idea what it is. Did you watch it, or do you just want me to?
I did watch it. It's super short, and it doesn't go into great detail, but it prompts the question. It prompts the mind into like, And I'll be honest, I'm just setting it up real quick. I didn't think of it the way that he presents it. So it's Fierce Marriage. I think it's the Fierce Marriage. It's a podcast, I guess.
Got it.
So it's a couple who, you know, they discuss. They're like us. They discuss stuff.
Just more well known and probably have more money. But hey, it doesn't matter, amen.
That's good stuff. We like good resources.
That's it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna play this.
Here we go.
Tease out a little bit more the Adam-Eve dynamic, right? Because you said Eve was deceived. Yes. She wanted power, control that wasn't hers to have. Yes. She wanted to be like God.
Yes.
Whereas Adam was clearly there and almost too content, like too okay with whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that speaks to the fallen impulses of men and women, is that women tend to want to steer the ship unduly, and men are too prone to saying, sure, whatever, go for it. I want to tease out a little bit more the Adam-Eve dynamic, right? Because you said Eve was deceived. Yes.
So that was it?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Sorry. I guess I didn't cut.
You didn't cut it, but it's okay.
It doesn't matter. Maybe it just is on repeat.
Yeah, maybe so.
Okay. Do you want to go or what?
Well, I can. So, wow, it's interesting to see the dynamic has existed from the very beginning. And it is very, very interesting. I was even watching, I'm not sure what show, but even in a lot of the shows that we watch, women are presented to be the organized one, just leading, and the guy is just saying okay.
Whatever you say, dear.
It kind of makes the guy look dumb and makes the woman look like she's the one really controlling everything. And so, and however your marriage and dynamic is in your relationship or whatever that is, that's fine. But it is, I never thought about it in that way, that this whole dynamic has been in play from the very beginning.
Well, I think it's interesting because I typically think of the male as the one who wants the power, wants to be controlled. So for me, I wasn't thinking of Eve as, you know, to me, it's portrayed as she's the weaker one. She's the one who fell into temptation, not that she wanted power and control and wanted to be like God. I mean, even though I know that, it's me thinking, I guess in my terms of, I'm putting myself in her place, right? And then as Adam is like, okay, well, whatever you say, hun, that type of We're just
Right.
gonna go with the flow. We just whatever. Happy wife, happy.
And that's what
life,
I was going to say.
right?
It's typically because it's because we want to please the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you made a comment about men want you thought generally men want to be in control.
Right.
What
Have the power, right?
I think men do want to have the power, but I think the motivation behind it is different.
Yeah.
Men want to have the power to impress their woman so that the woman can feel as, oh my gosh, my man. I think the motivation is different there. It's almost like the guy wants to be in control and prove himself worthy to his woman so that she can feel safe, so that she can feel taken care of, so that she can feel like, man, my man's really got me.
Yeah.
The motivation, though, isn't really to control. It's just to provide. It's to nurture and make. Now, I'm not saying there aren't cases where there's domineering and real control. Of course there are.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? I think there's a different type of motivation that can be at play here.
Oh, definitely. So when I first listened to the clip, and I'm thinking, okay, power. So, like I said, I'm putting me and Eve. I'm like,
Right.
I don't know that I seek that. So, and then I rewinded. I'm like, maybe I don't make it look like I seek that in public places.
Oh,
like
yeah.
my husband he's the leader of the family. He's the spiritual head, right? All that public. But then at home, when it's us, and I'm like Jeremy, like, why are you doing that way? Like,
Right.
do it this way. It's better. My way is better.
Right.
So I feel like I'm like a closet power freak, maybe.
To others, but to me, I know you're
that's
full
what I'm
fledged.
saying.
You're full fledged. I mean, ain't no closet about it. What you talking about?
Okay, maybe people.
Yeah,
think,
just other
maybe
people don't
think
know.
that I do rule the roost. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I put off that kind of persona, and I don't care.
Well, it's funny you say
Whatever.
that because it's even like become a thing in culture. Remember that thing? That the thing. He rules the roost, but I rule the rooster. You know, it's like this thing that's out there. Like it's a known that women really are the ones in control, and so I don't know. That is weird. How that I never really thought about that dynamic from the beginning.
Yeah,
and it kind of goes back to the nature of men and women, I guess. I don't know. You know, I feel like there wasn't an evil intent or an evil desire from Eve. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe I don't know. We have to know that the Lord used that, though. We have to understand.
right.
But it is interesting how they put that in terms of, because guys are a little bit like, yeah, whatever. As long as you're happy, let's
I'm
do it.
good. Everything's good. Why are we changing stuff up? Why do I have?
Well, you've even
why
made
do
the-
I want to know more about life? I don't.
Yeah.
Care. But yes, and I do see now, because I'm thinking of, okay, yes, like you said before, there are exceptions to the rule, right?
For sure.
But the organizer, the figuring the things out that need to be done.
But why
and
is
how they need
that?
to be
Why
done,
is
how
it?
to
Is
be
it
done.
because there's there's a strong sense of I
think
have to
it's-
prove my self-worth?
No,
and I'm not
I don't
saying.
think so. I don't
Okay,
think so.
okay. I'm just trying to
Um,
understand.
yeah.
And I'm not blaming or casting or
No, I
putting
get it.
that
I get
out
it.
there. I'm just saying.
I
Like,
get it. And all women are different. I'm
Mhm.
just speaking from my
Right.
experience and how I am. We watched a movie recently, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
yeah,
Remember?
old one, but yeah, we rewatched
No,
it.
it's
Yeah,
not that old. That's the newer
girl is still old.
Indiana
But
Jones.
yes, go ahead.
Okay, yes. Some people probably haven't even seen that. They're
It's
like,
true.
"What? Crystal Skull?
Yeah.
What?"
Right.
And
Right.
it's Harrison Ford. It's Indy. Okay.
It's indie.
So the woman in there, played by, I just know her as Galadriel. I don't know her.
Yeah, from
Lady
Lord of the
name?
Rings.
No, Kate
Yeah,
Blanchett.
Kate
Is
Blanchett.
it?
That's it. Yeah,
Oh, I can't believe I knew that.
you did know it.
So in the end, so it's aliens, extraterrestrial beings, okay? And she tells him, I want to know everything. Let me see it all. Show me everything. And I feel like as sometimes as women, some women want to know all the things so that we can make the right decision. Feel like we can make all the right decisions and plan our lives and make
Or-
everything absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you can make it better. You can make it
Yeah,
better
if I
because
know all
y'all
the
have the
things.
ability to make it better. Like, if I just know, I can, I can put the mama on it
Stop,
and I can
stop.
make it better.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I feel like, that
Right.
maybe that Eve's thing was, God is all powerful, wonderful. Maybe if I knew all those things that I could make things, like you said, make things better.
Yeah.
Better. I don't know.
Wow. That
I don't
is
know.
interesting. Genesis gives us that account. We understand that God said you could have everything, but just that one tree. Please don't touch it. Don't eat it. And, I think this speaks to just the nature of humanity, because
I can't have that. What?
right. And even children that don't know how to speak, to just start walking, they know how to lie.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you get that piece of cake? Cake all over your face? I
And
didn't
they want
do
the
it.
exact thing that you don't want them to have.
Absolutely. And, it's like, gosh, it's just in us. That's just part of
In us.
living in a
It's fallen world.
That's
It's
exactly
in
right.
us. Yeah.
And so I think there is much we can learn from that. Listen, in reading that and listening to that, even though it is a new way to think about it, I think that if we can both go to God and submit our lives to Him first and foremost, really that's the only way that we're going to be able to fully, as a married couple, walk in unity and walk in covenant. It doesn't mean that things are always perfect. And I'll even go back to what Jocko was saying about ego. You have to check your own ego in your marriage, man. Because we can easily get, well, I'm the man and I'm the provider and I bring home the bacon and you're going to do what I say. And so
and I'm the woman and he's not doing things right and he needs to do them the way that I
that you exactly
do them.
Right.
And he's messing everything up.
Because he's a man. Stinking men.
Right.
Like, they all suck, right?
I would never say that.
I understand that.
Never.
But yeah, so I think that in a weird way, the clips are kind of related, and that's that we
Yeah, I
have to
think so.
check our ego. We have to understand that, our egos are probably our main nemesis, thinking that we know better, and we do. And then being able to communicate. I always say this, guys. Listen, if you don't know how to communicate verbally with your spouse or with people, you have to start doing that. And you
Start
can't,
by writing it down and then
right. And I was going to say,
practice
you can't
speaking
ever
it.
assume that the other knows what you're thinking or what you're feeling or how you're feeling. And so I just say that it's very important. And everything I do pretty much involves me communicating something. Yeah, talking. But I just think it's so important. God gave us words. And I'm not saying that everything has to be eloquent and that everybody's extroverted and they talk a lot. But I am saying it is important, at least occasionally, that you verbally say how you feel, what you're doing, let the other one know how much you love and respect, all of those things, because verbal affirmations, you never want to guess what someone's thinking or doing or feeling, right?
That's true. That's good. And like you said, just start.
Just
if you don't know, write it down, type it out, play it over in your head, practice it. Whatever.
That's it, man.
Hand them the note. Start there.
That's
and
it.
then that opens the door to, okay, I'm having a chance to read this, read his thoughts, read how he's feeling.
Right, right.
And then, like, your spouse can write a letter back or
Right.
come to you and speak, say, hey, thank you so much for writing this letter. Now I
Right.
understand a little bit more about where you're coming from.
That's it.
Even if I don't agree,
Per
I
se.
could still, right, I could still, at least I understand more.
And there you go.
And that's the start. That opens the door to, okay, now we're starting to communicate. Now we can do this, right?
That's right.
And also, I wanted to say with this clip, and you mentioned it before, that all marriage dynamics are different.
Amen. Yeah.
Sometimes, it's the wife who's making all the plans and deciding where we're going to eat tonight, what we're going to eat tonight,
Yeah.
where we're going on a trip, all the things. Sometimes it's the other way around.
That's right.
And that's fine. That's fine. I think as we always bring it back to faith and
That's right.
the Bible,
Amen.
biblically, as the leader of the house, the spiritual leader of the house, as the man, when he's, like you said, acting in that subordination to the Lord.
Amen.
Right?
That's right.
And so I think that, like I said, there's different dynamics, and I think that means different things, and maybe it's played out in different ways for different couples, marriages.
Well, very
right?
true. And in all of these things, because I always like to, even though we don't mean to do it sometimes, I feel like all of the clips can be like related, and I always bring it back. And even in other relationships, friendships, colleagues, things of that nature, when we're talking about submission and egos, and we have to understand that everybody is looking at life and doing things through their own unique perspective. The way they were raised, the love in their home or lack thereof, all of these things shape a human, and they begin to look at the world through that lens. And so everybody's got a lens or a perspective in how they view people and how they view the world. And so it can get a little bit muddy sometimes, but if we just have an awareness that, hey, listen, their perspective, even though it's not like mine, it is important, and I have to be able to live alongside, work alongside, have friendships and relationships, and do all these things alongside others who are not like me. And that's what it means to put your ego in check. Amen?
That's good.
All right. Good stuff. Hey, you got any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
Wrap it up, I'll take.
Wrap it up. Okay, good deal. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Hope these conversations or these clips are an encouragement to you. We always find stuff that, I don't know, that's been an issue for us or to us or something that we can relate to. And so it's always good stuff. So thank you guys for joining us right here on the Junto Podcast. That's right, the Together Podcast. We're back. We're back. We'll be releasing stuff and excited about it.